Eagles fans, Eagles haters, and the sneaky fans that don't want to admit, we welcome all of y'all to another episode, Eagles Elite Podcast. Make sure you bring 3 or 4 or 5 friends with you. You know what I'm saying? So when you roll in and you start listening, make sure you hit that like, that share, and that sub button if you haven't already. So that way your people can get this wonderful broadcast talking about your Philadelphia Eagles and some of y'all's sneaky guilty pleasure out to the most people as possible. But it is your boy Cool McCain. I'm probably about 85% now. It's a little cold around here, so it's hard to battle all the way back from being sick, and then you walk outside and you feel like you in the frozen tundra of Antarctica. So there's that. Beside me tonight is the one and the only angry Philly fan, Benny Boone. What's up, Benny?
What's up, brother?
Below Benny is Darth Key, straight from the dark side. I guess Kevin Petullo is about to get his neck cracked for his actions or lack of being a better coordinator. What up, Key?
What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
He ain't even smiling like usual. Nothing. It's just what's going on. And then, of course, last but not least, some people's favorite, the Eagles Diva. Diva, what's going on?
What it do?
I can't believe I said she's some people's favorite, and then she turned her camera off. That's crazy.
I ain't even do that. Hold on, I'll be back. My computer acting slow. I'll be back.
But y'all know what we about to start at. But before we get there, every week we just have to have that last little tidbit, that last little bit of extra just juice to get the juices flowing and get everything popping like it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Get it popping, get it cracking, all that. So in order to do that, we just need a little hypeness. And if I'm correct, I think I got just the thing for that. Let's go.
The kick is away, and the kick is, it's gone! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with the win. You just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with the win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
All right, good people. So we're waiting for Diva to return. But while we do so, let me go ahead and get our first graphic, because y'all know where we're going with this graphic first and foremost. So to give y'all the paraphrase version, while Benny's running away from the camera, to give y'all paraphrase version, AJ Brown playing Madden, talking to one of his peoples, and he was clowning. He was saying how, if you got me in fantasy, drop me, right? And now I'm not happy about how I'm getting the ball and stuff, but it is what it is. And this has caused another hailstorm, and how we should have traded him, and all that. I'm gonna give y'all my opinions. I'm gonna let everybody else say what they got to say first, and then give y'all my opinion. But I do want to caution everyone watching, seeing the replay, watching live on the panel, whatever. Remember that AJ Brown is a journalism major, meaning that he understands what he's saying. He's not just letting things slip. He's a journalism major. He graduated with a degree in journalism. So he could do exactly what all these clowns are doing, especially the Philly media that are trying to rile things up. Benny, I know you're going to have an angry take, so let's go with you. What you got for us, sir?
I ain't gonna be angry about it. You know what I'm saying? AJ gonna do what he wanna do. And if this is his way of acting out, all you doing is showing us that mental health really does exist on our team. But also, he has to realize something too. We have a lot of skilled players on this team, and I'd rather have multiple skilled players to help us get to where we want to be than to have one skilled player and not make it where we want to be. Because when you look at it, look at CeeDee Lamb, all pro for the last, 3 years? Do they make it? No. Look at Jamar Chase, all pro. Do they make it? No. And he have every right to, I say, in my opinion, Jamar Chase has more right to lash out because of what is happening over there, because they're not winning, than for AJ to be acting out the way he is, and we're winning. But I get it. I mean, look, everybody want to be selfish. It's me, not team. But we got tired of this crap when T.O. was here. That's why they got rid of him just like that. Thank you, Andy. Andy saw the problem, got him out of there. But look, he's going to do what he want to do, man. I'm sick and tired of this, every week the same old crap. If you don't want to be here, just open your mouth, say, look, I don't want to be here. I want to go somewhere so I can get my targets. And how will you make it happen? Because at the end of the day, it's about the team, not about the player. And I tell people this all the time. This is why I do not cling on a player unless your mentality shows me that I can cling to you. It's all about, with me, it's all about the logo. The Philadelphia Eagles logo. And all I want is championships. Because basically all my life, I had to sit there and watch my team say maybe next year, maybe next year, maybe next year. From 1970 up until today, well, up until 2018 when we got our first Super Bowl, I kept saying maybe next year. And now we winning, and I'm getting used to seeing my team win, and now you want to be a prop? No. Dude, let him do what he want to do, man. If he want to go, go. Shit, I'm tired. I'm tired of this every week crap, man. You causing more damage than you getting praise. Tired of him, man. Tired of him.
Keith?
So you all know AJ likes to troll the media. It's like, so what he said today, okay, so he was playing Madden, and he told his son, well, here's, this is what my stats look like on Madden, because, my real life stats, because this is not what it looks like, on the field, really. So him and he was talking to one of his, playing the game with the streamers, and he asked, I understand he's voicing his frustration. He's not all, I don't think all his animosity is towards Jalen. I think they're okay. It's towards Nick and KP. He's not wrong. There's no way he should be 50th. 50th, y'all. I didn't say 5th. Add a 0 to the 5. 50th in receiving yards. That's a problem. That's a whole issue. So I wholeheartedly get why he's upset and frustrated. He said he's not going to apologize for anything or what he said and how he's feeling, and he has a right to feel that way. Just like Benny said, Jamar Chase should be complaining. He had no quarterback after Joe Burrow went down, but they went and got Flacco. So every receiver, when he wants to win, yeah, he won a Super Bowl last year, but we don't want more than just one Super Bowl. He don't want more than just one. He wants multiples, and he wants to be involved. He wants to win. He wants to compete. Give him the ball. Kevin Petrulio needs to scheme some more plays for him. So, and then Nick was getting frustrated and annoyed earlier, putting himself in the hot seat. So, either one thing we're not going to do is turn the book over to Nick, because we all know he can't call plays to save his life. Because he'll just be asking Madden all game. What should I do? We have to stop getting OCs in house, because we did that with Brian Johnson. Look how it turned out. We have to go out, find somebody who is capable, who has OC experience before, and need to bring him in here. I.e., a Frank Wright, i.e., Shane Steichen. We had Kellen Moore. Those guys have experience. They know the game. They know how to get him open. They know how to make this offense not look so vanilla. Again, if Kellen Moore would have stayed, he could have got a job. It's like 3 teams that just fired their coach. He could have went to one of them. But I get it. You don't get a head coaching job often, and he thought he was going to have Derek Carr. But anyway, so AJ's not wrong. So I mean, I agree with him. You got to get him open. You got to scheme for him, and he has a right. He has a right to be mad. So he's going to keep voicing his opinion until it changes. So, and then the media is just eating it up. So, you know how Philly media like to take stuff the wrong way.
Diva.
I remember Jamar Chase going off a few weeks ago. He even went off on his defense. So it's not just AJ. AJ has a right to be mad. You can't keep going. I mean, AJ's different from everybody. Everybody got their right to voice their opinion, their frustration. And when you're a great player to that magnitude, just like Terrell Owens did, you're going to voice your opinion. Like he said, he got a ring a year ago, and that doesn't matter. It's a new season, and it is. And I would be frustrated too if I'm going from coordinator to coordinator. I have a good coordinator, then I don't have one who don't know what they're doing. Which, I mean, as we see, it probably wasn't even Brian Johnson, because Brian Johnson is doing his thing over there in Washington. So that was all Nick, for one. 2, you don't pay that player of the amount that you're paying him for him to get 1 and 2 targets a game. Period. AJ is very valuable, as we have seen year after year since he's been with Philadelphia. He has not let us down since he's been here. So I'm okay with him voicing his frustration. I think he should. I think he should let Howie know. Technically, I would buy.
Uh-oh.
You got to make something happen, because this does not make any sense. You're not only making AJ look bad, but you're also making Jalen Hurts look bad. There's no creativity in this offense at all. Why? Because these 2 dodo birds, Dumb and Dumber, don't know nothing about football. You can't have the magnitude of players that you have, and you don't know how to scheme none of them open. I mean, even Saquon is getting to the point where he's starting to say things. So it's not just AJ. AJ's the more boastful one. But there's other players that are saying something, just like how they all last year had to go to Kellen Moore and say, hey, we need to run the ball more. We need to do this. We need to do that. We shouldn't have to be doing that as players. This is something coaches should already know. Kellen Moore knew, and once he figured it out, and once he got comfortable, he started doing it. And that too probably was Nick that was calling the plays a few, and then finally he let Kevin do what he do, because we all know Kevin, he's good with the offense. He's good with the running game. We watched that in Dallas. We watched it with the Chargers. So my thing is, I feel AJ. If I was AJ and I was the caliber of player of AJ, I would be voicing my opinion too. That's what's wrong with Jalen. Jalen don't say nothing. You sit there and be a good old boy and a do boy, and you out here looking crazy. So I don't have no problem with AJ voicing his opinion. He said he's not going to apologize, and I wouldn't either. Let them know how you feel. I mean, because if we let AJ go, or AJ decide, hey, I want to go somewhere else where I can get more targets daily, what are we going to do?
Oh, Diva, let me tell you what these misconstrued, crazy Philadelphia Eagles fans think. They think, oh, AJ's going to leave, and we're just going to make Devontae the number 1, and, you know, he's just going to get off on the number 1 receivers like he's getting off on the 2s and the 3s.
Listen.
I want y'all to understand something, and that was a great segue. I want y'all to understand something. If we don't have Arthur Wine Brown, we don't win no championship last year. Y'all can glaze Saquon all you want, and he's important. But if you don't have Arthur Wine Brown that the other team has a scheme for every game, every play, and pay attention to and bracket, Devontae Smith is not getting off on the other side. Dallas Goedert's not seeing one-on-one coverage. That's what y'all need to start to understand. He's mad because he knows he's running his routes. He knows he's doing what he's supposed to do. And when the opportunities are there, the ball's not coming his way. He gets that he's not going to get 10 to 15 targets every game. But you mean to tell me A.J. Brown can't get 5 targets and get 100 yards? A.J. freaking Brown. This man is what, 6'2", 6'3", built like a Greek god, can run the out routes. Everybody want to try to play this man's route running. Y'all clowns. If you want to sit here because you don't like what he said and try to play A.J. Brown's route running, you need to go back and watch last season. You need to go back and watch every year since A.J. Brown's been with the Eagles, and then I want you to watch the 2 years before he got here. And you tell me he don't make this team better. And if you want him gone, then you don't want to win championships. You don't want to be successful because you don't want a top wide receiver in the league. And if you don't have a top wide receiver in the league, your running back is not going to get off, and your number 2 wide receiver is not going to play like he's playing. Everybody else got to move up a spot. Is Jahan Dotson the number 2? No. But that's what y'all want. Oh, you think another number 1 wide receiver is going to come and not get the ball? I don't know what y'all been drinking, what y'all been sniffing, but that's not how it works in football. So what we need to understand is Howard Roseman, Nicholas Sirianni, and Kevin Patullo need to get their heads out of their asses and figure out how to get the ball and spread it around. Dotson should be getting the ball more as a number 3. A.J. Brown should be getting the ball more. It shouldn't take a rogue renegade play from
Jalen.
Thank you, Key. From Jalen Hurts to A.J. It didn't work, but it makes sense to try to play. Everybody wants a perfect thing. You want A.J. to sit up here top, in my opinion, I'm going to say top 5, humbly. Wide receiver and sit over here with his and twiddle his foot and say, well, I'm not getting the ball, and that's okay. And you know what? I like what he said. I like the fact that he said, you know what? I was talking to my mans. I'm not going to apologize for anything I said. I'm trying to get through a dark time, and it is a dark time to be a number 1 wide receiver and not get targets and not get opportunities. And if y'all think that's a problem, y'all don't understand why we suck so bad before Benny. We never had a number 1 receiver. We never had a guy that people had to focus on. So our running backs got that work. The tight ends got that work. They're open because we focus on A.J. Brown. So when we want him gone, we want to say, I'm tired of him talking. Just remember that. A little bit of talking, a little bit of getting his frustrations out, which he is correct in what he's saying. Because if you do have him on fantasy, I'm going to be real with y'all. Fantasy football, right? I play fantasy football. If I see the other team, the dude I'm playing or the lady I'm playing, they got A.J. Brown or A.J. Brown or Saquon Barkley. Oh,
you winning.
I'm about to win that matchup. I don't draft him. You know why I don't draft him? Because I learned a few years ago. You're going to get, and I'm surprised at how little targets he's getting now, but you're going to have times where AJ's not going to get the ball, right? It's just being too much times this year. You're going to have times where Devontae don't get the ball. But he's getting the ball a lot this year because people are saying we'd rather him beat us than AJ. You're going to have times where Saquon don't get the ball. But if you think for a minute that we're going to go out there and win multiple Super Bowls without having A.J. Brown on this team, it's just a fantasy. It's a figment in your imagination. And if that happens and the realness comes down, I don't want to hear none of y'all that's running around talking about you want A.J. gone. I don't want to hear none of y'all cry. Shut up when it happens and realize that you and the people like you are the reason why the team is back where we don't want to be. Use your eyes, use your common sense, and use your football knowledge. And if you don't have it, sit back and watch and learn from the rest of us. That's my thoughts. Anything you guys want to add before we move on?
You know,
I think you said that. I think you said enough for that for everybody. Cool. I think so. Good job with that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Go ahead, Benny.
I'm just tired of the media making a big thing about it because I haven't heard him say not one time he wants to be gone.
But that's always what the media is going to do. That's the problem. So this is what I was actually talking to Diva earlier, and I said this. This is the thing. We're not used as a fan base to being talked about all the time because we're not used to winning. We have 2 Super Bowls. We have some championships from back in the day, but we got 2 Super Bowl wins. We've been in the Super Bowl 3 times in about the last, 10 years. 2 of those times, who was our number 1 receiver? A.J. Brown. The other time was really a miracle. I mean, let's be 100% honest. That we got there was really a miracle. Some dudes played better than they ever played in their career. And we had that 2-headed running back.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to understand, for today's NFL, if you want to be successful, you've got to have that number 1 receiver. You've got to have another guy that's almost as good. And we talk about Jamar Chase. You know why Jamar Chase don't complain as much as people say he could? Oh, you forgot about T. Higgins. He knows he's not going to have 150, 200 yards every game because T. Higgins is across from him getting paid too. And even if Joe Burrow is there, they still lose games because the defense is still garbage. We got a defense. We got an offense.
O-line horrible too.
Yeah, and the O-line horrible. That's why Burrow hurt now. The O-line horrible. So the thing is, you got to realize we have a lot of the pieces, but they're not being used properly. You know, AJ's 10 games in the season. He has 1 game over 100 yards. 1 game out of 9.
2.
What's the second game he had over 100 yards, Benny?
Rams in the second half.
That's the only one.
And then he had that 100-yard when him and Smitty had 100 apiece against Minnesota.
I'm gonna go check that because he's averaging 39 yards. He's averaging 39 yards. So I don't believe he's at no 200-yard games. Maybe I'm wrong, but we're gonna go check that right now. We're gonna do some real-time research. Anything
50th, else? 50th. He is 50th in receiving yards.
I look at it like this. AJ ain't going nowhere. They will get rid of Kevin Petrillo before they get rid of AJ Brown.
Look, once Jeff,
you are right, Ben. You lost 2 games.
Once Jeff gets fed up, he'll let Howie know. Fix this shit now.
So
well, the thing is,
2 out of 9.
It should not go to that. You saw the experiment that we had with when Nick first came in. Nick was calling the plays garbage. Then you saw the experiment we had with Brian Johnson, which, again, as we see, it probably wasn't Brian Johnson. It was Nick. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then now you're seeing it. So why would you continue? And you see the difference between when you went to the outside and got a OC to when you let Nick control everything on the inside. We shouldn't have to go through this as fans, as players, because the people at the top don't know what the heck they're doing. Nick really shouldn't have say-so when it comes to coaching for the offense, especially when you have these caliber of weapons on your offense. Why are you letting him make decisions when he knows absolutely nothing about football? He ain't Andy Reid. He ain't Doug Penderson. He ain't Sean McVay. He's none of those. Now, if he was some of those, cool. Or why don't you go get a head coach that know how to call plays if your OC don't know how to call plays? We don't have neither one of those. So why would you again after the year we had, knowing that we have the team and the caliber of players to go back to another Super Bowl, let him give it to a guy that he went over for Brian Johnson, and then knowing he has no experiment. I don't care how long he's been with the team, he still has no experiment with calling plays and seeing how much of great offense that he has to where he can be creative. Can't neither one of y'all be creative. It should take 2 of y'all to figure out how to run this offense. And y'all still don't know what to do. So I put this on Howie, once again, letting Nick sweet talk him to say, oh, well, let me hire from the inside. You shouldn't listen to a thing that Nick Sirianni has to say unless he's cheerleading. Period.
Remember a year?
Just can't put it on Howie. We got to put it on our owner too. You are the owner of this team.
He don't know nothing about football. He ain't.
But still, but he been around to see how things happen or don't happen when you hire within the organization. If you ain't let Doug Peterson do it when he wanted whatever the boy he wanted to promote to OC, and they say no, that's not what I don't want to go that way.
You can't put it on the owner because how we made the decision. You can't put it on the owner because our owner does not come in and meddle in the football affairs. Our owner
Nope,
hired
he's
Howie
not
and
Jerry
said,
Jones.
You run the football. You run the football
Well,
side.
he need to start.
He just got the money.
Because
That's not
if
his
he starts,
job.
then you get
He
Jerome
oversees
Jones.
everything. How he put Howie in charge of putting player and personnel and everybody in place. And then
He's just
somebody
the
under
bank
Howie.
account. He's just a bank account.
Right.
That's all he is.
Yeah, you don't want him to turn into Jerome Jones. See, what we want as fans is, I want you to step in now, but I don't want you to step in no other time. No, you either get an owner that says, y'all gonna do what I pay y'all to do, and I'm gonna be hands off, or you get a Jerome Jones. I don't want a Jerome. So let's let Howie take the blame, because this is a Howie thing. Howie's the football guy. Nicholas Sirianni is a football guy. Kevin Patullo, no, he wasn't ready for that role. But if you offer it, then he's gonna take it. I want to go back to AJ Brown since we got 2 games over 100. I want y'all to hear the rest of the games that AJ Brown played. 2 receptions for 13 yards, 6 receptions for 80 yards, 5 receptions for 43 yards, 2 receptions for 7, 5 receptions for 27, 1 for 8 yards. That's what a number 1 receiver on our team is getting. 408 yards through 9 weeks. Well, 9 games, 10 weeks, 9 games. So if you think he's not going to be upset about that, all I can tell you is you are using some substance that is either emulsified through the air or sniffed up your nostrils. So what has to happen, in my opinion, of course, it's an opinion. In my opinion, we have got to get to the point where we are saying, you know what? How are you wrong? And I'm going to go back to what Key and Diva said and agree with them. You want to hire somebody in-house? It need to be somebody that was involved with play calling. Maybe he's not the main play caller, but you're saying, hey, if Kellen Winslow leaves and takes a job, which we know is a possibility, I want you right beside him. I want you on his hip. I want you learning. I want you being part of that process. I want you learning how to be a play caller. What do we do? Is that what I said?
Yeah.
I'm about to say we got the tight end. We got the tight end.
Right?
Bring
the Chargers tight end coming here.
So Kellen, you need to be hooked beside Kellen Moore. You need to be on Kellen Moore back almost. People need to think that y'all might be having a secret relationship. That's how much you around him trying to learn the job. You feel me? If that's the guy what's cool, if you want to push up, because bringing guys in with no experience and they're trying to learn the job in our season has tanked us before. And because our quarterback, as Diva so eloquently put it, is not the type of guy that's going to say, you know what, bump this. This play calling is stupid. We're going to call what I want to call. And if you don't like it, sit me down. Because he ain't going to do that, they got to do something about the play calling itself. He'll do a couple of plays that sounds like a game, but he ain't about to butt sister right now. Season. Right. He ain't gonna do no whole quarter except for that one where he was over there yelling and cursing. First time I ever seen that from him, I was shocked.
Wasn't lifetime.
The one person that was shadowing Kellen took him with him.
It doesn't matter. If you have Kellen Moore and you have Shane Steichen, because he's been there with Saint, you had 2 great coaches and you wouldn't pay no attention then. I mean, you can go and look at film. You got film for days to go look at and be like, all right, well, what was Kellen doing? Or what was Shane doing? So you can't tell me that he doesn't want to learn. If you want to learn, you got to go
to get coffee. He was offered. Go get this. Go get that.
Well, if he
was his job.
If that was his job, then he had no reason being in the hunt to be offensive coordinator and a play caller for a team where the head coach can't call plays because his playbook is hot doo-doo juice.
And once again, you blame Howie because Howie let him sucker him in after we had the year before that, the last year, and let him sucker him in. And
like, at least Doug knew how to call plays.
And keep in mind, this is what's the craziest part about all this. This is the dude that you preferred to take Brian Johnson over. Think about that, y'all.
And Kevin
you allowed this dude to go back
and a quarterback
and
coach.
Backup put. It doesn't matter if he was a quarterback coach. It doesn't matter. If
he wasn't even one.
But it doesn't even matter.
He wasn't even one.
It doesn't matter. Even if he was, it doesn't matter if he can't call plays. It doesn't matter if he was the assistant head coach if he can't call plays. You have people in this position that can call plays. If you don't have them internally, you go outside and get them. understanding that if you are successful, they're going to leave. Another part, you said it before, Benny, oh, I want to keep being a successful team and winning Super Bowls. Well, guess what that means, sir? That means every year or every other year, we're going to have a new coordinator on the offensive side of the ball. Vic ain't going nowhere because he's old and he's happy where he at. Offensive coordinator, they don't care about this team. You know what they say? F y'all, I'm using y'all to get a head coaching job. So when you want to be that successful team, remember, that goes with you're going to get a new coordinator every year or every other year. You're not going to keep a coordinator more than like 2 years, being a successful organization and going to and winning Super Bowls. So what you have to understand is you have to be able to groom guys on your roster and or go get guys from outside that have experience. Neither one of those things are happening. So because neither one of those things are happening, we're sitting up here in week 10 getting ready to talk about a game that we won that was putrid offensively for both sides. And it's not going to stop unless some things change with the play caller. But we're going to get to that. We'll get to that. So, good people, we've had a nice heated discussion here about Mr. Brown and what's going on with that and how that's affecting the team. I think it was needed because at the end of the day, that's an important part of what's going on with the team. Your number one wide receiver needs to be happy, and he's not. And he didn't go to the media and say this. He said this on the stream, hanging out with one of his peoples. Ain't nobody that could tell me on this call. I know I be talking my sister. I be saying some stuff that I don't want other people to hear. You know what I'm saying? So ain't anybody on here could tell me you haven't been talking to somebody and y'all cool and y'all just talking, y'all keeping it a buck and y'all keep it at 100 and then it get out. I like AJ said, hey, I ain't taking nothing back. It is what it is. But just remember, anybody who want him gone, if he do leave, I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, we not winning no more. We not this, we not that. Because if he leaves, that's gone too. Because without A.J. Brown, this dynamic is a way different, even with Saquon Barkley. Believe that. All right, y'all. Might as well go ahead and slide over here. All right. As aforementioned, we had a matchup. We played Green Bay Packers Monday Night Football, really for a shot to be number one seed as of now in the NFC. All we need to do is win. Because we only have one loss in the NFC. The other loss is an AFC loss. By the hairs on our chinny chin chin. That's how close it was. We did win the game. Shout out to the defense. I'm not even going to say nothing else about the game. I'm going to leave that to these ladies and gentlemen that are here with me. They watched this game. Some of them even did a stream where they were about to probably pass out multiple times during this game. So, Diva, talk to me about your thoughts and what you saw in the Packers game.
I saw exactly what we have been seeing besides the Rams game second half and the Giants game. There was no creativity on the offense. I mean, it was 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Remind y'all, we are number 50 or number 30 and 3 and out. So we got the most 3 and outs in NFL, which is crazy. There was absolutely no creativeness at all. Like there's just no creation to get anybody open. So it's like basically you get out there, you do what you can, like all man on its own. That is what we saw. We did not score a touchdown. And I kept saying, I said, he need to air it out. Air it out, Jalen, because you're not getting anything on the running. I mean, I think we saw Tate Bigsby one time and he got demolished. I don't think he even gained 1 yard. It might have been a yard. All the throws that were being thrown, besides the Dallas Goedert, I think twice, were not being open. Like nobody was open. AJ was covered. Smitty got a few because Smitty was open because everybody was on AJ. Saquon got a few yards, but not like he did with the Giants. So finally, Jalen airs it out. Smitty gets a touchdown. But I'm tired of seeing this defense be on the field all 4 quarters for majority of the time. Now, I get it. Defense wins championships. But they are going to they're going to get tired of carrying this team, always having to be on the field. The offense should be on the field more than the defense. That has not been the case with Philadelphia this year. The defense has bailed them out one too many times. So now you're going to have to athletically train these boys and be like, oh, he might as well get out there because you're going to be on the field all 4 quarters for 60 minutes because your offense is going to do absolutely nothing. And that's exactly what we saw. We saw the defense making plays. We saw forced fumbles. We saw sacks. We saw them calling out like they were actually reading the offense of Green Bay to make that forced fumble. Do you see that on the offense? No. That game was horrible. It should not have took to almost the 4th quarter for us to score 1 touchdown. We couldn't even get to the field where we could get Jake to kick a field goal or 2 or 3. That was probably the worst game I've seen this season. And it's getting late in the season. Y'all had, 15 days to figure something out, to build on what you did with the Giants. What were y'all doing? Sitting on your hands? 15 days. Y'all should have had all types of plays drawn up. Should have been doing all types of stuff. That was more than enough time to come up with a creative play, go watch film from Kellen Moore, something. You saw absolutely nothing, flat. And that shouldn't be. And it seems like the O-line is starting to lose faith because they're not really moving and shifting like they used to. So your whole offensive line is starting to lose faith in the coaches because they know they don't know how to call plays. We're struggling. We should not be struggling to this magnitude. I don't know how we won that game. I don't. Defense is how we won that game because they were able to hold the Packers offense to 10 points? 6 points?
7 points.
So if it wasn't for that defense, we would have another L in the column. You can't do this with Detroit because Detroit knows how to do creative plays and they're going to scheme up some stuff. That's all I got to say about that game because that was horrible. I was about to sleep. If it wasn't for Coach and Key, I would have missed sleep. Wasted my Monday night on that foolishness.
Oh, Key. What you got? What's your thoughts?
I was just like, please, God, don't let this be like the Sunday night football game. At halftime, it was 5-3. I was like, what are we doing here? That fumble was a killer. It was a momentum killer, and we never got it back. We never got the momentum back after that fumble. That was like a 13-play drive, 8.5 minutes that was wasted. That was a good drive and fumble. We never got the momentum back after that. Like Diva said, we couldn't even get in Jake's range. I'll take a drive. If it's not a touchdown, at least we get 3 out of it. We couldn't even get in field goal range for Jake to even do that. We could have won. I would have took a 15-7 game. At least I know Jake kicking points for us. And it wasn't a complete wash. 3 and out. 3 and out. 3 and out. That's what happened with Denver. The defense is only doing so much. What happened? You get tired. What happened when you get tired? They're gonna beat us every time. This game definitely could have been a loss, but thank God it wasn't. We had some fresh legs on the defensive side where they can get subbed in and out. Again, defense was lights out and saved us. The offensive line owed them dinner, lunch, whatever, because they definitely bailed them out. Just not, again, what did I say? The Giants game was the first complete game from the first to fourth quarter. It was right enough balance. It was a good run. It was balanced with the pass. Well, what the hell happened from just last week to this week? Diva said all game.
We weren't playing the Giants.
Y'all had 9 days. What was y'all doing in practice? What was we doing? Was we still asleep? Was we still on vacation? What was he doing? I don't know. Nick can go in and have his game plan. He'll do his speech and soliloquy. Oh, we got to be together. Yeah, okay, I understand that, but run some better plays. Let's go back to play calling. Nothing would go right until the offensive coordinator changes. That's a big change. That's a big change. That's a big change. So we've been preaching. If put Fred in the games, and since Fred's been in the game, shit's been moving. Things have moved when Fred is in the game. Lane went down. Fred did his job. But no, I don't know what happened with this game and then the last game and the Minnesota game. There was two different. It's like we looking at day and night, and this looked like a high school game that just couldn't score nothing. Ugly win, defensive win. It was ugly. We got the dub. I know by any means you got to win the game, but that was terrible.
All right, Benny. Crash out alert, y'all. Crash out alert. Go ahead, Benny.
It was horrible. I'm sitting there, I'm watching this game. And I said to myself, I'm like, damn. Are we back at week 1, week 2? What happened to the last 2 games we played? And the ball was moving. We was in a groove. What happened to that? And then I heard Nick talk one day when he said he had all the coaches at his house. Did you have them at your house so y'all can go over a game plan? Oh, no. They was all playing with his damn dog. When you're supposed to be working, you up there playing with a dog. Who does that? So that's right there. That shows me how much committed they are to fixing this offense. Every time I watch the game, and I watched it twice, just to see what I missed. I watched it twice. I taped the games. And I'm going to say this. Thank God we have Vic Fangio. Thank God we have him. And sooner or later, Vic is going to come out and say, look, either y'all get y'all shit together and stop having my guys out on the field 45 minutes in the game. Well, I mean, damn. Too many 3-and-outs. Too many 3-and-outs. You expect for that many 3-and-outs, you expect that from a team like Cleveland because they have no identity. You expect that from the Jets because they trying to find their identity. Damn it. I'm looking at Carolina. They give you good drives at least 4 or 5 times a game. We can't even do that. I ain't see that in that game. It wasn't for our defense, man. We'd be sitting at 6-3. And here it is. We about to play Detroit. I know they played the Commanders and everything. They dropped the 44 piece. You can't even have no more than 2 3-and-outs against this team. Because sooner or later they're gonna wear our defense down, and that's it. That will be it. And one thing I'm afraid of right now, that Detroit is going to walk into our house with that same swag that San Francisco had after that game we won against Buffalo and punk us. But the one thing that I know it ain't going to happen because we got Vic. Something has to change, man. 10 points. That defense was all in Jordan Love's face. And how many times they gave us the ball back? You telling me you can't scheme your guys open? Or get your quarterback in a groove? Come on, man. That was the boringest game I ever seen in my life. And I saw I thought watching New England games was boring. But that game was more boring than the New England game. You ain't even win no championship.
Kudos for you for watching that game twice. The second time, I just watched the highlights, and it only took about 10 minutes. I was not going to watch that game twice. I just watched the condensed highlight version. The second time, yeah, that didn't take long at all because there wasn't a lot of those there, except for a couple of defensive ones. Only thing I'll add is I like what Diva said. I think that, my opinion, of course, this is all opinion. My opinion, I think that the big reason why the offensive line just like whatever is because the plays that were being called were not giving them the opportunities to pull and do things anymore. Because when your play is not called to give you those shots, to give you the possibility of doing things, you're not doing them. And we're getting to a point, I think, where some things are going to have to happen. I'll talk about some of those in a few minutes, but things going to have to happen. All right, y'all. Kevin Patullo was my weakest link. Kid, who's your weakest link?
Damn, did we do the perform? Did we miss one? I must have not been here. But anyway, I'm gonna go Coop.
No, we didn't miss one. We're doing it different this week.
Okay, I was just making sure. I'm going Coop. Coop don't never get holding penalties. That was 2 he had. I'm like, Coop, what are we doing? So Cooper DeJean makes my weakest link list.
Benny Boone, who's your weakest link?
Offensive coaching staff except for Jeff Stoutland.
All right, Diva, who's your weakest link?
The 2-pack of ass.
Nick Sirianni?
No, Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson.
Oh, okay.
So they put out a thing for I shared it in a group. I was like, what?
That's a lot.
Sure, are we looking at the right person?
I've never wanted to leave a group with y'all before.
I was like, what? Who put that?
Leave that blame group. Like, if you don't get that sugar honey iced tea out my face.
Poppycock. That's buffoonery. It's lies. Don't believe that.
Don't believe none of that. That's narrative.
Big Van putting that out.
That's the same narrative. That's the same people putting out a narrative that AJ Brown don't want to be in Philadelphia anymore. It's the same people that's trying to get us to buy that foolishness. And I'm not buying it from either one of those clowns. Those ass hats. All right. So now the Key knows she's paying attention. Key, who is your elite performer of the game?
Jalen Phillips. Made his debut. My man got a strip sack, fumble recovery. He was all over the ball. I mean, he was flying all over the place, pressure. Way to debut. And he got the game ball. So I'm going to go with Jalen Phillips.
Benny Boone, who you got?
I'm going to go with Nolan Smith. Came in, did what he had to do. He set the edge on his side. He complimented Jalen Phillips. And him and Jalix. They did their thing.
Diva? Who you got, Diva?
I have Nolan Smith. Came in and got a few sacks, especially a big hit on Jordan Love. Yeah, I'm glad he's back.
So I'm gonna do you and Benny a favor since y'all had the same person, and I'm gonna say that one of y'all said Jalen Hunt with a nice sack early on to set the tone, coming around the edge with some fire in him. But for my own personal one, I am going to choose Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson hurt, came back out, played hurt, not injured, hurt, to be there for the team, and because he understood that they needed to win this game, they needed him out there. And anytime a man got guts like that and could play like that, big props to him. I'm hoping that he's able to play this week. Not Fred, another Johnson needs to be in there, and not nobody else.
They gave him the patty shot.
Right. They gave him the Patty Mayo shot. Everybody gets one. That's what they use that one up theirs on. Everybody get like one a season, probably. That's what they use that one on this season. All right. So y'all. Y'all know what it is. We're playing the lines this week. I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna just say my thoughts. We just go around and say our thoughts. We ain't gotta have no questions this week. Just go around and say our thoughts. So for me, I look at this game. Amon-Ra St. Brown been running his mouth for a year. He's gonna get punched in it lots of times on Sunday night. I believe it's a Sunday night game, if I remember correctly. I like the reserves that we have. The reason that we went out and made the moves we made was because I think how we understood that the way the offense is looking, the defense is going to have depth. They're going to have extra bodies, especially on the edge. So we went out and made some moves to make that happen. I do want to say, Jair Alexander, you're hot garbage. I don't have a problem with you stepping away, but you could have told the Eagles, hey, before y'all trade for me, I'm going to be stepping away. That's my issue. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, yo, we need to go out and make a move and get another guy at corner because two-pack of gas, like Diva said, we don't want them out there. I'm not sure what's going on with Bennett. He may not play this week. He may because he has the 21 days, and he's only used about a week of it, if I remember correctly. So he might get him back this week. I think he's better, but we still need depth. If we were relying on Ringo and Jackson, we put me and Benny out there. Heck, we might move better. Might not know as much, but they move like they got concrete on their feet anyway. And I mean, they're professional players, so I'm exaggerating when I say me and Benny could go out and do the job. Seriously, I'm exaggerating, but you get what I'm saying. I think to Benny's concern, I'm gonna simply say if they come in our house and they punk us around, then we deserve it. This is not 2023. Everybody want to bring up 2023 every time something happens. It's not 2023. The defense that we have now is leaps and bounds better, abundantly better. Any word for being way better, way more, way just higher level applies to this defense. This offense can't get it done. This defense is going to keep us in games. In 2023, the offense had to get it done. The defense was 8 packs of gas. Not 2, not 4, not 6, 8 packs of gas. Matter of fact, it was 11 packs of gas, every one of them, for the most part. So now you've got a much better defense. What we need offensively, figure out who's going to run the ball and run the ball. Will Shipley had a couple of good runs early, so maybe he's a number 2. Tank Bigsby got 1 or 2. Maybe he's a number 2. Saquon had a couple of good ones, but we've got to commit to the run. We've got to say we're not going to run Saquon Barkley 30 times, but we're going to run 30 to 35 times a game. That opens up this thing that is unheard of these days in Philadelphia, but was abundantly used last year called play action. Play action against the Lions, that would be really nice because they're not set up to handle that. But it's all about what we do offensively. Our offense determines if this is a close game to me or if this is a game that we come out and we try to make a statement. Jalen Hurts, I have refrained from really commenting on you. Diva has not. Props to her for that. But what I'm going to say is I'm going to need you to man up, big dog. I'm going to fudge what they're telling you. You're the quarterback. You QB1 on the reigning and defending Super Bowl champions, which you were Super Bowl MVP. I'm not even worried about the naysayers or the haters, because whatever you do, you can go out here and win 3 Super Bowls in a row, be the MVP, all 3 be a regular season MVP, and you're still not going to be a top 10 quarterback and definitely not a top 5 to some of these people. So it is what it is. You're not going to change their mind. There's nothing you're going to do. Your skin color and the weapons that you have are the reasons they're never going to put you any higher. It is what it is. So you know what? You can't worry about that. But you can worry about how you show up for those guys in their locker room every week. You can worry about how you show up for your fans to support you and defend you and argue for days and weeks and months. I see it all the time on social media for you by going out there and playing the game that you know how to play, that you've been playing since a kid. Your freaking dad's a coach. Come on, man. You know this game. But you allowed them to get you to play it a way that's whack. How about you not do that for once? How about we see Jalen Hurts go out there and play Jalen Hurts 2024 football? Don't matter who the coordinator is. And the other thing is that we have to do is rubs, setting screens for wide receivers to get them a little open. You think that might help A.J. Brown? You think maybe running a route where he's going to the right or to the left and another guy's coming right behind him and kind of slowing off the defender to give him a step so he can get the ball? You think that might help? I mean, it's crazy how we do those things. You get more receptions, more yards, and your receivers are happier. Don't let A.J. Brown not have 1,000 yards this year, y'all. If he doesn't have 1,000 yards this year, he should go ballistic. He should punch somebody and just take the fine. Y'all got to do better with him. He should be 1,200 yards still. And I know we only talking about, 7 more weeks? It's A.J. Brown. It should be over $1 every one of these games. We got to stop playing, and we got to be serious. We got to go out here and win. You can use all your weapons. That's cool. But you have to realize when certain guys are open in certain routes that you've been working on for years, throw the dad blame ball. Who cares if he gets picked? If A.J. Brown can't stop the other guy from getting the ball, we got a bigger problem. Throw the ball, shoulder, put it over his outside shoulder where it's either out of bounds or it's him. Problem solved. Let's go. We're the Eagles. Stop playing with us and play Eagle football on offense and defense, not just defense. Benny, you up. Diva, I'm going to let you finish this. Benny, you up.
Hey, Detroit. I love the Motown sound. I'm down with General Motors, but you're neither one of them.
Piss on everything Detroit
I ain't
this week.
afraid of you. Because I'll get all of you motherfuckers. That's what the mentality of this team should have. You're not coming into our house thinking that you're going to run things. That's not happening. Do you know the history of South Philadelphia? Do you know the history of Philadelphia, period? And I'm challenging Kevin Petrullo. Nick, you sit down. I'm challenging Kevin Petrullo to get AJ involved in the game plan. Not just Jalen Hurts, but AJ. Because there's so many routes this man can run. So many routes he can run. He is 6'2", full of a chiseled fucking Adonis. And there's not one cornerback in this league that can outmuscle this man. And there's no way you can't. You got to get this guy involved. Because without him, as you said earlier, cool, without him, the rest of our skilled players wouldn't have the stats they had. Because he's being key. Even you keying on him, I still give him the ball. I design plays for AJ where I can have AJ on outside, Dotson right here with them, and they can have AJ come underneath Dotson, do a crisscross, and make that slot corner stick to AJ. A slot corner ain't dealing with AJ's strength. An outside corner ain't dealing with AJ's strength. That's called creativity. And I'm not a coach. I'm a Madden guy, but I'm not a coach. The running game we need some zone runs. Stop running up the middle. Run at Aiden Hutchinson. Run at him. Wear him down. Because this guy, he has a high motor, but every high motor does get overheated. I seen it happen. If you got Lane on one side, you can bring in Fred Johnson sometimes to be on Lane's side, and he can act like he's a tight end as an eligible receiver, but he's staying in as a blocker. Creativity. Kevin Patullo. Creativity. You can't let Detroit have their way. I ain't worried about the defense going to do their thing. I just do not want them on the field no more than 20 minutes in this game. No more than 20 minutes. 15 minutes is great. After that, I don't want to see them on the field like that. I don't want to see our defense get worn down. Because once you wear out on the defense, it's over. So I'm not afraid to know. Oh, Jared Goff a couple of times. He's regular. And I'm challenging the fans. Get loud. This stadium they gotta be rocking. Spotlight is on. The spotlight is on. And if Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni do this conservative play calling again, right there, this would tell Howie it's time to move on from these dudes. Because if we supposed to be having a gold standard, is the gold standard is to be conservative? When you got a bunch of killers on the squad? That's like a bronze. When you play conservative, that's a bronze standard, not a gold standard. That's my opinion. So the outcome of this game, did you really want this game? Did you really want the number one seed? Do you really want to send a message to the rest of the NFC to let them know that y'all ain't nobody to play with? Deal with this team. Smash them. Hurt them. Not injure somebody. Hit them where it hurts. Give them another loss. Make sure everybody knows you got to come through Philadelphia. If you want to go to the Super Bowl, it goes through Philadelphia.
Your thoughts, Key?
I'm not going to say too much. Keep it short and sweet. I mean, I still believe we can beat this Detroit team. I still think our offensive line is better than their offensive line. Hopefully Lane Johnson can show why he's better than Penny Sewell. Still upset about that nut behind top 100 list had Penny Sewell over Lane Johnson. We can get the golf. Our defensive line can get the golf. Pressure golf. Make him turn over the ball because he can turn over the ball. I've seen him do 4 interceptions. He can make mistakes. Our offense we have to score points on Detroit. They can't be 3 and outs with Detroit. You have to get AJ involved in this game. Let him go 1-on-1 with the corner or whoever is on him. He's going to win every time. Jalen has to see him early and open and try to wait for the play to develop before he decides to roll out or do something else. I get it. If AJ's not there, if the play's not there, all right, move on. AJ has to be your first read, though. And then, use your progressions other than anything else. All else fails, run. But we have to scheme with the Lions. They have a good offense. They got Aiden Hutchinson and those guys. They have a good, decent line. We have to be better than them. We have to put points on Detroit and put the foot on the neck. Keep scoring points on them. Don't get in the shootout with Detroit. So Keep it short and sweet. We have to score points. I'm not worried about our defense. I think our defense can stop Detroit. I know we got, thing 1 and thing 2, but I still believe Coop and Q can at least, try to slow down your Jameson Williams or Amara St. Brown. So defensively, I'm not worrying about the front getting to Goff. It's offensively we have to be better. This is the offense. It's offense time now. We got to score more than 10 points on Detroit. Because if we do the same thing we did on Monday, nope, we ain't winning that game. So offensively, this is y'all game this week. Y'all better watch some film. Y'all better do something. Y'all better call Kellen Moore. KP better call Kellen Moore and say, "What do I do? Help me." Offense got to score.
Diva.
I'm not gonna speak too much on that offense because I'm tired. Of speaking on that offense, and I think what you see is what you're gonna get from that end of the ball until the end of the season, unless Howie goes and get somebody to come in and help Kevin Batula and Nick Sirianni, a consultant, which that needs to happen ASAP. Because if not, Brian Daboll. I mean, you might as well go get the good somebody.
Or
Peterson, somebody.
Or Franklin, Mr. Frank Wright. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's the one you always go to anyway when you're trying to find a head coach.
Doug said he's willing to help. Take Doug's help.
I don't think they're gonna mess with Doug. I wouldn't mind Doug. I don't think they're gonna mess with Doug.
Anybody. But defense, I hope you work out a lot this week. I hope you get your endurance up because you're gonna be on that field for 60 minutes. Because it's gonna go 3 and out. Now we might, hopefully, which I'm hoping and praying that Jalen Hurts decides to take over the game from quarter 1, not to the end of the quarter, not the last play of the game, but quarter 1 and
to quarter 4.
To quarter 4, get his receivers the ball. Line needs to shift and move so that and then use Bigsby and Saquon. Like, use both of them. You can use one play, and then use the other one.
They got Montgomery and Gibbs. Why can't we do that?
Yeah, put both of them in.
And you're going to have to watch Montgomery and Gibbs. You're going to have to hit.
Right. So, I expect the defense to go in there and do their job. Offense, all you can do is hope and pray. Each game, that's all you can do with them right now is hope and pray that they get something going and that your quarterback uses that high football IQ that he supposedly has and all the talks that he had with Peyton Manning and use all that knowledge and go in there and do what he's supposed to. Because, yeah, we need to win this game as well. Yeah, I mean, that's all I got to say because you don't ever know what you're going to get with that offensive line. So all you do is pray and hope for the best.
We need to run the mother freaking ball, and we need to make sure that we don't forget about that 2-headed monster that they got. Them holes got to be hit. Everybody got to have gap integrity. And if you figure out stuff and you call out plays, don't call them out. Well, yeah, call them out because it might help. But make sure that you focus and you're reacting to those things in time. I mean, the game's there to be won. Ain't no game to look past this game too, because I mean, next week, y'all know who we play, and y'all know what's up with them. So this is the game. Focus on this week. Ain't no looking ahead. So I want to thank Benny Boone, Eagles Diva, and Keith for joining me on this episode. I want to thank everybody that watched the show. If you did watch, please make sure you like, share, and if you haven't already subscribed. not a week for comments and have a lot of interaction. It's all good. It happens. We did get a couple of comments here, but I'm just gonna go over them right quick. It was just intense. So we was kind of going through it, but we got a couple of comments. Let me go through them real quick because I don't want to be that guy, and then we'll be done. So Topper says, "Yo, what's going on, Topper? We was on one tonight, y'all.
What's going on?
We didn't really hit the comment that much, but that
we was frustrated.
We had a little bit of we had a little fire in our loins.
Oh, Tapa kept he was the one kept saying that Patua was
Little
gonna
G
get in his
says
bag.
I'm a big fan of Eagles season. Little G said I'm a big fan of Eagles season. Better Eagles kick Lions butts. We want to kick everybody's butts. I agree with you. Quitter says, tell them why you mad, son.
Right.
Because been saying that to any of us.
Right.
Steve McCain says, love you, fam. Cool for GM. Oh, man. I want to be GM, but I could be a consultant. GM, you look old too quick. GM like being president of the United States, you look old too quick. Quitter says, AJ beats you with his feet while Smitty beats you with his hands. For any defensive coordinator, that's an obvious decision. Yeah, and the other problem is AJ beats you with his hands too, because AJ high points that ball too. And AJ will take that ball from you. He's a very dangerous guy that people act like they don't understand. And then Scrub says, not the Patty Mayo shot with the laughing. You know how that goes, Scrub. And then Philly says what's going on, Eagles family in the building as well. So, hey, everyone that did, comment, appreciate y'all. It wasn't as many comments as normal, but it's all good. There's a lot going on right now. But if you did not watch this show live and you normally watch this show, I challenge you. Obviously, you won't see this unless you do watch it. Watch the replay then. If you got engrossed in the NBA or NHL or college basketball or whatever, still show your people some love. Come on, y'all. We're here for y'all. With that being said, and with that being said, it is never where you start, good people. It's always where you finish. Fly, Eagles, fly. Hashtag be elite. And we got to get back to something that's my fault. That was kind of not part of things for a minute. So we're going to get back to that. Hey, Detroit Lions. And with that being said, we out. We will see y'all next week. If I can get the button.